Transport Fever 2, how to increase shipment. I'm going to discuss 3 techniques for increasing shipments, which is how many goods you move. So one way is to build your lines as short as possible. Another way is to put more vehicles on the line. And another way is to put vehicles that have a higher capacity, meaning they can transport more items. So I'm going to start by looking at this particular town up here. Click on the buses. Actually, it's not. This one here. See, we got bus 1. Bus 1 goes direct across this pink line, and it's like I said, it goes direct across. So that means that buses are getting there as fast as they can. I increase the road. Why is that guy not moving? It's weird. Oh, maybe it was saving. I widen the road so that the buses can drive faster on the road, the top speed. And you can go to where it says manage vehicles, and you can buy a vehicle. Click on passenger. You got all these buses, and you can look for the one that has the highest capacity instead of using the ones with the lower capacity. So higher capacity vehicle, running more vehicles, straight line. We're going to go to the train station. No, we're going to the bus station. We're going to look at bus 2. And you'll see that this line is not straight. Goes on a little bit of a curve, which means I saved money building the road, but it's not the fastest way to get there, which means you're going to move less people. Also, it's not a high-speed road. It looks like a lower speed road. When they have to make turns, they slow down. So obviously what you're going to want to do is build a straight road. What I do is I rotate the map so that I'm going to build. Why isn't it panning? I want to build from here straight across. So what I did was I rotated the map to where I want to build it to. Let's say I want to build it to right there. I'm going to rotate the map a little bit more, like that. So I'm going to zoom in over here. And then I'm going to scroll across, build a road going across, build bridges and tunnels. And then it's going to connect right to here. So I'm going to save a little bit of money. It's not going to be the most direct route, but I don't want too many connections to the highway. It's going to make this highway connection over here. And it's going to be slowed down a bit because a train can block the road, but it's going to be a lot faster. It might be twice as fast. I don't have to run as many vehicles. The first thing you want to do is build better roads. Now, obviously, I'm playing in the sandbox mode because I just want to build. I don't care about the making money part. The other thing you could do is you go to manage vehicles, and then you click over here on the vehicle type, and you scroll down, you go to your depot, and you add a vehicle to the route. I don't have any buses, but if this were a bus, you would add it to bus 2. Or you go here and you do new vehicle, you click on passenger, you click the bus you want, you click, there would be an add button over here where it's ghosted out, it says buy 4. You click on that, it gets added immediately over here, and then this line is running another bus. You check your finances. Is it profitable? How many people are being transferred? It's not profitable. It looks like it's losing money. The balance is low. That means that I got to fix the road. I got to build that road going across. I don't have the money to do it right now, but eventually I will, because my earnings are growing. So I'm going to build that road across. It's going to fix that problem. And we're going to go to Manage Line. You could see that these are all the stops it's going to make. And there's only a few people waiting. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to have a big impact on moving people. However, it's going to impact the finances. It's going to make it profitable, or it's going to make it break even. What applies to buses is the same for trucks. It's the same for trains. It's the same for boats. It's the same for airplanes. So we're going to look at some trains. These are the trains. I like the one at the top, but it's too expensive. I lose money running it. This one is cheap. And this one is cheap. So what I've been buying is the Series 246. This is a European train. I could buy the cheaper one. You add it, and it shows up over here. And then you add all the wagons. And obviously I would do cargo. Some of them are going to be cheaper than others. We're not talking about price, though. This is a boxcar. So I am going to do logs. You see that one of them is 157. Okay, we're not talking about price. The capacity is 13. This one has a capacity of 20. And it's more expensive. So you have to buy the higher capacity carriages in order to move more goods, to increase your shipments. If you look at some of these vehicles, this one has a 99 capacity. This one's got 144. This one's 162. This one's 198. High capacity. Look at the speed is 200. This is 300. Lower capacity. So you want this one on the short lines. And you want this one when you go long distance. And I know you're going to say, well, how do I go long distance? You do it, the best way to do it is to, and this works for all city builder games, is to build your train on the border, because you don't have to cross any roads, you don't have to cross any other rail, and you just do it to get nearby the city, and then at some point you come and you start heading down. So build the rail going that way, come to this border, go down this way. See, there's a city right here. It's going to be right next to it. You come around this way, you hit that city, or you go as a diagonal across. Then you run the high-speed trains, the fastest trains. Look how far it's going to go. From here down to here, it's going to go really fast over that distance. As opposed to the short line, which is these two towns. Short line, you use the slower high-capacity trains, and on the long-distance lines, you use the faster trains, and people are going to get there faster. You might have to build a rail system that has enough lines. This only has enough for 2 trains. However, most of my lines will do 3. I'm going to show you an example. Over here, you see that there's 3. 1 to leave the station, 2 going in. Cargo in the middle, passengers on the right, because it's a passenger station and they just roll into the passenger track. See all the people waiting right there on that outside track. So you move more people. So basically the passenger trains are faster. Like the TGV is 300 kilometers. Outgoing, you build 1 lane. This is cargo going in. There's 1 going out, 2 coming in for cargo. But what you're going to do, you're going to take these doubles and you're going to put cargo in the middle and you put the faster trains on the outside. If you want to follow my method, you don't have to. This is a passenger train. It's a slow one though. But what will happen is eventually they're going to get near the station. This is a small station, so don't worry about that one. Eventually they're going to get near the station and you add extra tracks. Over here we've got 2 going out and 2 coming in. That allows trains to get out faster, trains to come in faster. I've got cargo on the inside, passenger on the outside. Because the passenger trains are faster, this is a cargo train. It's not a hard rule, but they are in general faster. And that means that they can pass the cargo trains. You want to do it by speed, but people want to get to their destination faster than cargo does. So that's how you increase shipments. We're going to look for a dedicated line. I think there's going to be one right here. No, that's not it. Too far north. This one here. I want you to look at that line. Okay? Starts here and it picks up coal. Goes here and it picks up coal. Goes here and it picks up iron. It's got its own line, goes on to the main road, travels down the main road, and it comes to here where it drops off the iron and the coal, which produces steel. And then it just goes back to what it was doing. See where I got something backed up over here? Fortunately, I don't have any money to fix it. But as long as the trains are moving, this is the one that I was working on in my other video, my Transport Fever 2 design, station design video, where I have a plan, I just don't have the money to fix it right now, to move these trains faster. You see I've got the 2 roads coming in, I'm sorry, the 2 tracks. We're going to go down. You see we got the 1 going out. These are all cargo trains. That looks like cargo. That looks like cargo. A lot of cargo coming in. Okay, so this one back here, he's waiting. It's got another cargo train over here. They're all backed up. Got another one coming in. Something is causing them to back up. You've got to go and you got to look at what's going on. You click on this. And it says it's waiting. Wheat doesn't stop here. Wheat just goes through. It doesn't stop at the station. So I'm going to put it on one of the lines. I'm going to click on, you could do passenger. I'm going to do passenger probably because, you know what, it's not going to let me do it. There's a waypoint over here. The reason why I'm choosing this is because I know there's just less traffic on that line. This is wheat, right? And I know that it's going to be it's only 2 stations, so which one is it? Okay, the starting station is over here. It's called Swaffham. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to move it to this other line. So I think it's going to get through faster. So I'm going to go to Manage Line, go to Swaffham, add station, add this waypoint. And now you can see that the line split. Before it was going on the same track. Now it's going on a different track on the way out. All those cargo trains coming in, very few passenger trains, that's a passenger line. It's going to be easier to get in and out. It's on a cargo line coming back. That cargo line is very busy. In fact, over here it overlaps. So I'm going to look for a waypoint. I've got this line over here, the passenger line. It's got less traffic on it. There's a passenger train. He's going to bypass any cargo that might be waiting. So we can get there faster. Looking for waypoints. Don't have any. So what I have to do, go to waypoint. Unfortunately, it costs money, and I don't have any money. But what I would do is I would add the waypoint. If I try to put it on the passenger track, it's not going to work. But at least I did lighten up a little bit by putting it on that track. It's going to move that shipment faster, not hold up the line so much. All of these vehicles are waiting. You add, he's probably going to stop. I'm guessing he's going to stop over here, but it looks like the other train moved. Let's see if he stops. No. So he's going to stop over here. And you can actually tell because there's a red light. See the red light? There it is. He's going to stop there until that light turns green. It's going to allow the trains behind him to advance. You can see that this train is going to go past him using two lines going in. And he's probably on a route. You see how he split from the main line and he's taking a side route. That's why he's going on the outside over here. And he's bypassing all these vehicles that are trying to get in. Which means that he's going to get to where he's going faster. He's heading up that way. The other thing you got to do is build lots of bridges so that cars and trucks and buses don't have to wait. Got one line coming in. There's a lot of vehicles that are waiting. So you come over here and you click on balance. See cargo 5. All of these vehicles are not delivering fast enough. You can see they've been slowing down. So you can go to manage vehicles and you can click here and duplicate the vehicle. I don't have the money to do it, but you click on the duplicate button, it will add another vehicle. And then you move more shipments, although you can get traffic congestion. Sometimes you have to remove some vehicles by sending them to a different line or by sending them to the depot. Oh, I accidentally sent it to the depot. The other thing that I recommend is that when you have a train, I make it around 150 kilometers in length. If you go too far, you're going to have problems when the trains turn around. So watch the length of your station and the length of your trains. And we'll see if I've got one. I know that I don't on this line. But basically, I have lines that have trains that are, like this one over here has 10 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normally I only put 8 cars. But because I use the smaller gondola, I kept it under 151. Only because another train is at 151 and it fits in. You want to add a number of cars based on the meter length, not based on the number of cars. So you'll notice that this one is longer than this one, right? So sometimes what I do is I add the shorter one because it fits under 150 kilometers. It fits under 150 meters, but the big one doesn't. See, this is 158, and this is 153. It's 5 meters shorter. So you can do that to fit another carriage on, which allows you to move more goods. If you really plan ahead, you can make your stations really long. I'm going to show you an example. This is an example right here. One-way track. See, it's one way. You could make this train super long, make it double the length, and then you're saving money on the locomotive. It's moving more cargo. However, all the stations it goes to have to be big enough to fit it. With this one, it fits. But with most of my stations, like this one over here, you cannot do an extra long train. This is an extra long train. We're going to watch it as it goes in. And you're going to see it doesn't quite fit. It's got 2 cars sticking out. 220 meters. So really what I want to do is remove something like that, make it shorter, and I would remove this one. Oh, it did the modification. It gave me the money back as the reason why. And now you notice it fits in the station. So if the train turns around, it will turn around properly. If you don't do that, and you've got, and it needs to take one of these crossovers, it might turn around and not be able to get on the crossover. If it's coming in on one track and going out on the other, it has to completely pass where the switch is in order to make it onto the other track. So if you see a train wandering around, it's probably because it's too long and it does one of those turns at an endpoint, and then they start wandering around to try to find their way back on the track. The other thing you can do is go to your depots, and this works with almost every depot, bus, train, etc. See, it says configure. You go and you hit passenger, and you click on this, and you can add more space for passengers or for cargo by dropping down these buildings or by putting down a platform. You can expand the platforms so more people can wait here, and it makes it bigger. Increases the capacity. By increasing the capacity, you don't lose people. All of mine have the proper capacity, but I'm going to show you an example. If you see a little blue circle with an exclamation mark, that means that you're losing some of your production. See over here, this says 307. That's a lot of stuff that's waiting and it's not being picked up. That means that this line needs more vehicles, or it needs to come more often. Everything has to move faster, or it has to come more often. So you see that I got logs waiting, and I've got a log train. So what I'm going to do for these 95 logs waiting, or I'll use a better example, we've got 163 coal. I would go over here. Coal is on the gondola. And then you would do manage vehicle. It's already selected. And then I would hit duplicate. I don't have enough money. And then another train will come through. That other train will go on this line. It'll go to the station. And because it picks up coal, it's going to start picking up that coal. And train with 8 gondolas picks up like 120 coal. So you only need one trip. You let it run through for like 5 minutes, and then you sell that train. You're not going to sell it. You're going to put it back in the station. It'll be cheap to keep it in the station, and you bring it back out when you need coal train. So this is cargo 1. We go to here. We go to train. We run down here. We check these train depots. These are my trains that are sitting, and you see I have a gondola over here. I hit this, assign it to cargo 1. I really want to do it the proper way. Okay, I'm going to scroll this down. I assign it to cargo 1. And you see that now it's popped on the bottom. That train is going to come around. He's going to pick up all that coal. You see that this one's losing money. And that this one's not really making any money. That means that I should not add another train to do that work. So they're going to go through, they're going to pick up the stuff. When I check it later, I go over here, I'm going to go to my balance. I'm going to check this line, check the finances. Looks like it's doing good. I'm going to check one train, check the finances. It's kind of doing okay. We got some bad gaps. If I don't like what I see, I send it to the depot. Hit manage train, send it to the depot. You pay very little cost. You pull it out. You got more traffic flow. You save money, etc. The other thing that you do is you specialize. As an example, like what I just did, I specialized a coal train just to pick up coal, because the general cargo trains that have a little bit of everything, they're not doing the job. They're not picking up the coal. Okay, so adding bridges is really important for trains, because you don't want the trains to block buses. Trains have priority when crossing a road, but all the buses will stop, and you don't want them to stop. You see, they're all waiting. So we're going to watch these trains and notice what's happening. The passenger train, that's a passenger train, is passing the cargo train because the passenger terminal is wide open. And we'll see the cargo terminal, there's a long backup. But you see that passenger train, he's going to come right in. If you have a cargo line going on one track and a cargo line going on another track, like this guy's going on this track, see where he's coming from. He's coming for the north. Give them their own road. See, this guy is going on a different track. He's oil 5. Oh, no, he's not. I could move him to one of the upper tracks. But what you do is, let's say he was going to go on to this track where this train is. Give him his, there already is a track to get him up there. But you want his queue, he's got to go on to the outgoing track, the opposite direction, in order to get there. There's not a queue for 2 trains to sit in the middle here. So what I would do is I would create a fourth track on the outside for everyone to leave, and this track right over here would be an incoming track that goes to the cargo line so that multiple cargo trains can go in, because there are multiple cargo lines coming on this track. That's cargo 14, and that's wheat 12. So you see you got two different ones, and that's cargo 1. So already we got 3 different cargo tracks potentially. You give them their own queue using waypoints, and then they will be able to pass a vehicle that might not be able to get in. Okay, so that's a little bit how to increase shipments. Obviously, there's a lot more that you can do. I will give one more tip. Buses, trucks, trains, airplanes. Road vehicles are the cheapest. Airplanes are the most expensive. Do a variety of different methods of transporting, because some people want the cheapest way. Some people want the fastest way. The people that want the cheapest way are going to take the bus. The people that want the fastest way are going to take a high-speed train or an airplane. So you move more people when you have different methods of moving people. I don't know if a bus is different than a tram. I don't know if the small bus is a different cost than the big bus. I don't know. But I know that the bus is different than the train, and the train is different than the plane. So do a different variety of transportation methods which appeal to different types of passengers. The same is going to be true with cargo. I always make money with the road vehicles moving cargo, the trains not so much. Road vehicles are always full, road vehicles not. When you have a busy station, they got to come and go as quickly as they can. But if you've got something like this, you see how it's, you see this right over here? It says full load any. You've got load if available, full load any, and full load. You can increase your shipment by putting something such as full load any. That's what I recommend. The train will stop. It'll wait for a few minutes. It'll try to load up as much cargo as it can in 3 minutes. If you don't do it, it comes, and then if there's nothing there, it leaves. If you do full load any, it will sit for 3 minutes, or another time if you want to change it. It will try to load more goods. And then when it goes out, you're going to make more money because it's going to have more of the compartments full. That's another trick you use. Okay, I think I've gone through enough, and I am going to advise you to go to cheapbooks.cc, which is my discussion forum. Go to video games, and then transport management. You're going to see train fever / transport fever, and you can ask questions. You can read my tips that I posted in the forum. I will answer your questions if no one else does. And you can look me up on Facebook. Look up Transport Fever 2 on Facebook. And I am the owner of cheapbooks.com, which is a website for searching for books and textbooks. It's got over 700 million listings. It's very fast, international, covers many different languages, including Asian languages, Cyrillic, Latin languages, etc. And it's got almost every book. I mean, it's pretty competitive with a website like Google in terms of coverage. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, please post below.